We're here with Russell Dinkins, former collegiate athlete at Princeton, middle distance runner, and he is joining the Armory Journeys program, Olympic hopeful. So basically, Russell, can you just talk to us about kind of how your journey began as a track and field athlete?
Gotcha. Yeah. So I like to joke that track and field found me. So goes back all the way to when I was 6 years old. I was walking with my grandmother through Philly, and a youth team was doing a fundraiser for their summer travel. They were selling water ice, which is a great Philly dessert. Anyway, handed my grandma a flyer. My grandma gave it to my mom, and my mom, called and called and called, and eventually got in touch with the team, and then got me in the track and field, and it started from there.
So did you start out as a middle distance runner or in any other event?
So my first season was running cross country. That was a rude awakening. I remember kind of crying, not wanting to go. I ran at the famous Belmont Plateau in Philadelphia, which has a pretty gnarly hill. But I kind of ran all the events. I actually kind of settled on the 1500 when I was a kid and the 400, which kind of makes sense. I'm an 800 meter runner now. My coach kind of liked to coach his athletes to be able to do any event. So so I did everything from the 1500 down to the 4x1 when I was a kid. I kind of had a in addition to cross country. So I didn't really kind of settle in on the middle distance or the 800 specifically until kind of about high school.
All right, and then so you went on from high school to attend Princeton University. So how did you come to decide to go to Princeton, and what were some of the things or some of the things you would kind of advise high school athletes to do when it comes to picking a college or where they're going to go after high school's done?
Great question. So Princeton for me represented a great combination of the things I was looking for. I wanted to compete at a high level, athletically. I wanted to go to a academic institution that was befitting of what I felt were my academic abilities, and I also wanted to be at a school that had a good size fit. I didn't want to go to a very large university, and I also wanted to be close to home. In high school, I went to boarding school, so I was about a 5-hour drive away from home in high school. So in college, I wanted to be a little closer to my family. So Princeton represented, the great combination of all those things. And for high school athletes out there who are looking to run at the collegiate level, I would just say take the time to do your research, but also take the time to think about what you really want. There are a lot of great universities out there, a lot of great athletic programs, and they all offer something different. So think about the things that will, be best for you and beneficial to you as a person. The size of the school, the type of program, the type of athlete that you want to be.
All right, and then so you had a lot of success at Princeton. You actually ran school records there at the Armory, or for Princeton at the Armory in the 800 and 500. So just talk about what it was like for you as a Princeton athlete to, compete there and really compete here as an athlete, and memories you have at the Armory.
Yeah, I always loved competing at the Armory, actually. It was funny. So actually, we'll back up the story a little bit. In high school, I actually ran one of my fastest times ever here in the 400, and that kind of set me up to get recruited for college. So thank you, Armory. In high school, I was in Massachusetts, and I was in an independent school league, so we were restricted from competing against the public schools. So I remember doing my research online, and I found an invitational here, and I got into the meet, and then I was able to, for the first time my junior year, able to run against some quality folks. I think I ran 48 something, and that kind of allowed me to qualify for nationals and high school nationals, and kind of got my name out there for colleges. In college, I kind of was able to continue that. I ran the 500 and had a lot of success in that event, and then the 800 was was a really special event for me. I won the Ivy League title and helped our team secure the team title, and I was part of a triple crown that we won that year. So we won cross country, indoor and outdoor. And the Armory was a really important, special part of that experience.
All right, and then now that you're a professional athlete, hoping to make this 2016 Olympic team, just talk about some of the unique challenges that come with just being a professional athlete, and how you're able to navigate them, and what are some of the things you're doing now to kind of prepare for Olympic trials?
Great question. Yeah, so it's not, well, at least at this juncture, it's not glamorous. There's a lot of hard work that that goes into it. The biggest difference, I would say, from college to post-collegiate training and competing is that the same support structures aren't in place. It's a little different. So in college, well, if you compete in college, you'll have an athletic trainer right there. You'll have a dining hall, people making your food. You have housing taken care of. When you graduate, well, you have to find a place to live. You have to find, physios who will be willing to work with you. So you kind of have to do a lot of things on your own. You have to pay bills. Yeah, you have to be an adult. So there are a lot of ways that you kind of have to figure things out. But the great thing is that with different sets of challenges, there also are different opportunities. So I've had an amazing chance to meet a lot of great people who have been a part of this journey. People who have given me services. Just because they believe in me. I've been able to get assistance with food, assistance. So there are different ways that you can make it work. The training is pretty much the same. I still get out there. I'm still, running the mile, still hurting on the reps. That doesn't change. It's just kind of the surrounding support network and structure that's different. That doesn't mean that there's anything wrong with it. And as you progress in your professional career, there are more opportunities, more funding opportunities, more sponsorship opportunities. That's all dependent on how well you do.
All right. So, what are some of the things that have motivated you and pushed you to keep running hard and competing hard, and just kind of have kept you going through your career as a high school athlete, a collegiate athlete, and now as a pro?
Great question. So, there are a lot of things that have motivated me, probably too many to name, in this moment. But what I will say is that track athletes, we chase goals by our nature. We set goals and we chase them. Time goals to make certain meets, goals to achieve certain things. So at every stage of my life, there's been my track and field journey, there's been a different goal that was set. So in high school, my goal was pretty simple. I just wanted to get noticed. Like I said before, I was at a boarding school. We didn't have the opportunity to run against the public schools due to the state federation's restrictions. So, and our prep school league wasn't very strong. So I had to find opportunities to race, in different venues. So I remember trying to find different meets, and I just wanted to have the opportunity to get noticed. In high school, I made sure I did the things that I can control, which was my SATs, making sure that my grades were strong. But that was my goal, and I did get noticed. I got recruited, and I was fortunate enough to go to Princeton. At Princeton, my goal was make it to nationals, and I eventually did make it to NCAA nationals, and that was a great experience. But then once I got there, my goal shifted, and then I wanted to not only make it to nationals, but win and or become an All-American. It's funny with goal setting because I did end up winning an NCAA national title, but with the team. So we ended up winning distance medley relay my senior year, which was a phenomenal experience, and one that I'm certainly glad that I had. However, as an individual, I didn't reach the level that I wanted to reach. I never got to an NCAA final as an individualist, so as an individual athlete. So that kind of left something. So after I transitioned from college, my goal became, I want to see what I can do, and I want to progress and make the USAs and make the USA final. So that's what I'm working towards now. So every stage of the journey, there's been a different goal that's been appropriate for the time.
And so, how is training for you going right now? I know you took some time to get some training in Kenya, and talk about that experience and what's going on now for you.
Yeah, great. So training this year has been this has been a remarkable experience this year, to say the least. So a little bit of a backstory. So after I graduated in 2013, I finished up my thesis at Princeton, and then I started training for 2014. And not too long into my training in 2014, I had an injury, and it took me a very long time to get over it. And I was, unsure of my, athletic progress, or the future of my athletic career. So I decided, this fall, 2015, to go to Kenya, not only to train, but to gain some perspective and see if I could, change things around, turn things around rather. And I was able to do that in Kenya. Kenya, E10 specifically, has a great running community. It's very, very positive and very encouraging. People are very optimistic with regard to running and training, and that was an energy that I was able to feed off of. That, and then also I didn't have things to worry about over there. Through the generosity of a lot of people in my life, I was able to go and pay for everything up front, so I didn't have to worry about bills or work or any of the other stressors. Cold weather. I didn't have to worry about any of those things, and I think that allowed for me to finally get over my injury and start putting together some really good training. Since coming back to the U.S., things have been going very well. I've been training down in Princeton, New Jersey. I've been putting together some great workouts. I've done a few race simulation type of workouts and tests. Like I've done a 600 and different workouts to kind of test my fitness. So I'm progressing at a really good rate, and I'm looking forward to opening up pretty soon.
Cool, man. Well, we're looking forward to seeing how the year plays out for you and following your journey, and hopefully it all goes well for you. Thanks for the interview. Thanks for your time.
All right, thank you.